Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union has helped people save money for almost 80 years. Whether it's free checking, financing a vehicle, or purchasing that new home, Alcoa 10 is here to help you. Better rates, better service. Check them out at atfcu.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Member NCUA.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event.
Guess what time it is? My time. You can check your iPhone. Better say it's our time.
With your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End BBQ.
Give me 2 pounds and a Ric Flair.
Wow. 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 What a basketball game last night. Tennessee, Vanderbilt. What a game. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End BBQ. Top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. 850 AM, 100.9 FM, Rocky Top Sports is where you can find us on the dial this morning, 7 to 10 a.m. Swain Event app. Free for Android, Apple devices, where you can download, listen to our show anytime, any place, anywhere, whether it's live right now or on demand. Go back and listen to older shows. Our telephone number is 865-200-5503 if you want to get in the conversation with us. Question, comments, you can do that here. We're always open on Twitter. Facebook Live is where you can watch the show live, along with YouTube and Periscope. Appreciate your time this morning. Ben McKee, along with Grant Williams, may be the real MVP because Ben went to Nashville yesterday to cover the game. He returned last night, and here he is this morning at 7 a.m., locked in, ready to go. Ben, good morning, man.
Good morning, individual. What a game last night. That was an all-time game, and I got back at 1:13 in the morning, I believe. By the time I fell asleep, it was probably 1:30, and I was up at 6:05 this morning, and I would do it again in a heartbeat because last night's game was one for the ages. Grant Williams' performance, I mean, just absolutely tremendous, and there's so much to digest. I mean, you had the Jordan Bowden dunk. That was just ridiculous. You had the hook and pull, questionable call that changed the trajectory of that basketball game. And Grant Williams, obviously, and Vanderbilt played its best game of the season last night. Just so much to digest, and I can't wait to do it for the next 3 hours.
It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. Man, really nervous time during that game yesterday. I know a lot of people were sitting on pins and needles, but that game reminded me a little bit of the Arkansas game in 1998 on the football field, where things were looking really, really bleak, and then you got a call or a play in your favor, and you took advantage of it. Because the play of the game that everyone's talking about is the hook and hole on Grant Williams. That was a flagrant one. It allowed Tennessee to basically have a four-point play, get the ball. After Grant's unbelievable performance at the free throw line, he nails the 2 free throws. Tennessee gets the ball, and they inbound the ball as easy as I've seen at any level of basketball. And Grant Williams lays it in easily. 4-point play for Grant Williams. And it makes a 6-point deficit a 2-point deficit. Tennessee gets the ball back and scores and ties it up. And that was a really controversial call right there. That was a call that I don't know if I would call. I didn't think it was a flagrant one. I'm being real. Grant Williams did a great job of selling the contact. I don't think the contact warranted his actions. But basketball, sometimes you have to sell a foul. There's a fine line between selling a foul and straight up flopping. And we've seen the difference in selling a foul and flopping. If you want to call Grant Williams flopping on that one, I ain't going to get mad. I'm not going to be offended just because he wears orange. He sold the foul. He sold it so much that he hurt himself. I mean, it's one thing to sell a foul and brace the fall and try to protect yourself, but Grant really opened himself up to injury, and he fell really, really, really hard. That is not a comfortable fall at all on that hardwood floor. On the football field, it's different. Your receiver jumping up, someone undercuts you, and then you fall in the grass. That's different. That hurts, falling on the hardwood. Let's go to the phones, and let's talk about this basketball game. Great game it was. And we go to Josh in Virginia. Josh, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Man, we're doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I've never been a basketball fan, but I've always been a University of Tennessee fan, so it's hard not to get behind this team. And not knowing basketball that much, I've listened to you guys, and I've heard you say before, you hope that they're not peaking too early.
Mm-hmm.
And over the past few games, they've had some struggles. It's been kind of close. Do you think that's something that they did? And is that something, not watching basketball, is that something that teams usually can recover from, finish strong?
I think Tennessee can recover. I thought Tennessee played their best basketball game maybe against Georgia, and you look at the score. And the last couple games, it looks like, okay, Tennessee gets up by double digits, and then they kind of coast a little bit. And, it appears that way. This is something we have to also understand is that, number one, we're going to get everyone's best effort. Number two, coaches are going to throw things at us. Opposing coaches are going to throw things at us that we have not seen. They're going to throw wrinkles in there. They're going to give us different looks. They're going to make it difficult. We're going to play different teams that have different strengths, and we're going to have to defend them a little bit differently as well. And I thought Vanderbilt yesterday would have a chance to win if they made shots. And they did more than just make shots. They were on fire from three in the second half. And then they just ran the same play. Jimmy Dykes was talking about it on the broadcast, a play that Kevin Stallings has used before. But setting that offense, the screens in the offense up high around the elbow and giving those Vanderbilt players a two-way go. So they could back cut, or they can come off the down screen, they can curl it, or they can shoot the three right there. And when Vanderbilt was hot, man, Tennessee was put in a bind because you have to get up on that screener or the person who's receiving the screen. You have to get up on him. Either you can caboose him, you can go ball side, go underneath the screen. But if you caboose them, they can curl it. Vanderbilt did a great job spreading us out, opening up dribble drive lanes, backdoor lanes. They did a good job. You got to tip the cap. You can't just look at their record because they played better than their record last night. They just didn't finish. They did not shoot the ball from the free throw line well. They had a call go against them, and I'll be the first to admit that call for Grant Williams, I don't know if that call's made more than 90% of the time in college basketball, any other game. That was a questionable call, but it went in our favor and we took advantage of it.
Well, they're definitely a special team to watch. As I know, his 23 from 23. Well, I guess it was 23 from 23 from the foul line.
Yeah,
that's a record for Tennessee and almost, I guess, for college basketball itself. But I'm gonna hang up and listen on.
Thank you,
you guys.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you, Josh. I think it's a record for Tennessee, but 4 short of the NCAA record. I think the NCAA record was 27.
I thought I saw where the NCAA record was 24. I thought he was one away.
I thought I saw 27. I could look.
I'll look it up.
27 in 1960 something.
Oh, okay. I saw 24.
I think the Tennessee record was broken by Grant.
Yes.
Yesterday. National record. We'll have to double check. But I swore I saw 27 before I went to sleep last night. But you just never know. Maybe I was sleepy. Maybe it was in my dreams.
I was seeing all sorts of different numbers last night, so there's no telling.
Who we got next?
Kenny,
good morning.
Hey, what's up, bud? Just how you doing, man?
What's going on, man?
Man, just time, man. I watched the game last night. Got a little pumped up too much, man. Couldn't go to sleep, man. And I had to be, it's like, that game had me on pins and needles, man. That's one of the best games I've ever seen, though.
It was
I tell
great.
you that.
It was great.
That was a great game. You know something, man? Let me ask you this, Jason. If you have a team that basically, okay, let's just say like this. You got a team who really hasn't been number one, who's on the cusp of breaking, the longest winning streak of Tennessee basketball team. Don't you think jitters kind of come into play and that pressure?
I didn't see this team show that last night, to be honest. I mean, I didn't think their nerves got the best of them. I mean, Grant Williams is on the road. I know that when he's shooting free throws, there wasn't a lot of Vanderbilt people making noise and waving signs or anything. But just the fact that it's the fourth quarter, overtime, and you're perfect. I mean, Tennessee shot the ball perfect from the free throw line all game long. I don't think nerves got to us at all. I just think that Vanderbilt played extremely well. Admiral Schofield was off. That stadium is really weird with depth perception, and we had guys who are really good 3-point shooters airball. I thought that part comes into play too, but to me, I'm giving a lot of credit to Vanderbilt. I mean, they played their butts off. They made shots. They were fired up. I thought they played well enough to win.
Okay, it just seems. I mean, Coach Grant Williams. I mean, so he just got that it factor, man. But it just seemed to me, man. Just looking at the players, man, they seem a little slower, man. And I don't know, man. It just seemed like their minds was kind of. I was just looking at them, focusing on them, man. And it just seemed like they were just in unfamiliar territory,
Well, they were in a lot of areas. I mean, I don't think, and I let Ben talk to this some because he was at the press conference after the game. He's answering the phone right now, but Rick Barnes said after the game that some of the things that they were seeing against Vanderbilt was the first time that they had saw it. It was not things that they saw on film, and that's what Tennessee is going to have to expect moving forward. Is that everyone knows this team's really, really good. You gotta throw some wrinkles in there. You have to throw some things at them that they have not seen, and you got to make shots, and that's what Vanderbilt did. So yeah, it may seem like they may had a step in the mud, or like I saw one message on Twitter talking about effort. What? The team played hard. Effort was not a question, but when you're thinking for that split second instead of reacting, yeah, you'll step slower, and that doesn't mean that you don't have effort. That just means that you're thinking a step slow. In the first half, Tennessee was a little bit, and then they went to the halftime, and they made some adjustments. And then when they came out, Vandy still was making shots, and that's just hard to defend when a team is making shots. And you want to run them off the line, that's fine, but then they're going to back cut you for an easy layup. So Vandy was really difficult to defend yesterday. They were.
Okay. Well said, brother. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, like I said, I never question this team effort, man. You can tell these boys play hard, man. It's just like, yeah, I can see what you're saying, man. Maybe they're just kind of, thinking too much, just being slow that way. So that makes sense, though.
Yeah, I don't think effort was a problem, man. I just be.
Absolutely. All right, brother. Well, take care, man. I'll talk to you guys later, man.
Hey, thank you, Kenny. Who else we got there?
D Rose.
Like Derrick Rose? Is this Derrick Rose?
I wish it was Derrick Rose, but I also want to talk to Dustin.
Derrick Rose. Is that Derrick? D Rose, good morning.
Yeah, I wish Derrick Rose is my cousin now.
After his last contract, man, he was my cousin too.
Shoot, yeah, I'll take that money.
That's right, man. What's up, D Rose?
Hey, good morning, y'all. First time caller, long time listener.
My man.
I got a couple stats for y'all. I don't want y'all to tell me what you think.
Okay.
Here's what I picked up on. All right, I'm going to start here. 3-pointers attempted, 20. 3-pointers made, 5. That's Tennessee.
That's Tennessee, yeah.
All right, rebound, 33 Vandy, 30 Tennessee. And then here's my most important stat right here. Assists, Vandy 17, Tennessee 16.
Uncharacteristic. Uncharacteristic. Yeah, man.
A lot of dribble a shot with no passes is what I seen last night. I think that hurt us. What y'all think?
Yeah, Admiral had a couple shots off one pass. You know, Jordan Bone had one. Lamonte Turner had one that was an air ball. Tennessee shares the basketball better than what we saw last night. I'm not going to sit here and say they were selfish, but they share the basketball a little bit more.
What's a good percentage to assist on your made baskets?
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Because, I mean, Tennessee assisted on 60% of its baskets last night. I just think, sure, Vanderbilt had one more assist, but I just think Vanderbilt played really well last night. The one stat that D-Rose mentions that concerns me is the three-point shooting, because it was clear that shots weren't falling, and there for a good bit in the second half, they were still settling for long jumpers when it was clear that you had a mismatch inside with Grant Williams. And then in terms of the rebounding, I think part of the reason Tennessee got out-rebounded was, quite frankly, because Vanderbilt was not missing. It's hard to rebound the basketball when the other team's not missing shots.
Yeah, and then also Vanderbilt did a good job blocking us out when we shot the ball, so we didn't have a lot of offensive rebounds either. They did a really good job blocking us out, but we do share the basketball a little bit better than what we did yesterday.
Yeah.
I know that the percentages and the assist number looks good, but there were several times when I was like, whoa, that's a little early. And I know you don't want to just keep trying to get the ball to Grant. If you have a wide open shot, you feel like you can make it, you can take it because you put in that work. Remember, last year, Lamonte Turner takes that three against Kentucky, and they ask him after the game, well, why did you take it? He's like, because if I miss it, I can look at my teammates because he worked so hard. So you can't question whether or not you think Admiral Schofield or Jordan Bone or Lamonte can make that shot or think they can make that shot because they put the work in. But those were shots that were a little bit earlier than shots I've seen from those guys early in the season because they shared a little bit more. They moved the ball fast. And the offense got a little stagnant at times, and they jacked up a shot. And they were riding Grant Williams. There was a time when Grant Williams barely got off the court in overtime, and we took it to the basket, and Grant barely crossed half court to even get him involved in that possession. So I thought D Rose, I think those numbers kind of stand out to me.
Well, I appreciate y'all taking my time, gentlemen.
Hey,
I enjoy the show.
MVP call right there, man.
Y'all keep going.
All right, see you, D Rose. Great call, man. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I know there are some fans out there that were not pleased with Tennessee's performance. I am in the camp of Vanderbilt played out of its mind. I watch a lot of SEC basketball, and that is the best Vanderbilt has looked all season. So was Tennessee perfect last night? Absolutely not. There are plenty of things to clean up on both the offensive end and the defensive end. But I thought when Tennessee did struggle last night, it wasn't because they were playing bad. It wasn't because they weren't hustling. I just thought Vanderbilt was playing really well. And you have to give Bryce Drew a lot of credit, in my opinion.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. That's how you coach. If you watch the game on the tube, that's how you coach. Did you see how he motivated his team to believe that they can actually win?
Mm-hmm.
And they ran through a brick wall for him.
Yep.
He didn't jump on guys and rip guys. I mean, he empowered them. Not only X and O's wise, did he have them prepared all game long with a look that Tennessee was not familiar with, and Tennessee did make adjustments. But not only did Bryce Drew bring the X's and O's, man, he brought the inspiration. He had those guys believing they could win.
Yep.
He had those guys shooting shots and feeling confident making them and You saw their swag. You saw their energy. Man, that's coaching. Bryce Drew deserves an attaboy. That was a really, really good job by him. It really was. But you play teams, you play games where you're just destined to lose. And that was last night. Tennessee is a special team.
Yep.
And championship teams, they don't always mow through the competition without the ball bouncing in their direction sometimes when maybe it shouldn't. And you look at championship teams, they have a little bit of luck too. They get some calls that go their way. That's toss-up calls.
Why are the Patriots in the Super Bowl?
Bad call on Tom Brady.
Well, no.
One of those reasons.
One of the reasons. D Ford can't line up onside, lined up in the neutral zone.
Yep.
Why are the Rams in the Super Bowl?
Bad call on the pass interference.
How much did Clemson beat Pittsburgh by this past season? My point being, it was down to the wire, and they needed Chase Bryce to come in after Trevor Lawrence got a concussion. That was the week Kelly Bryant. Syracuse. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. Kelly Bryant transfers. Trevor Lawrence gets a concussion within the first quarter.
Yep.
And the backup, who nobody thought would play this season, Chase Bryce, had to come in and save Clemson.
That's
so
right.
Now Alabama didn't really have to deal with adversity until the championship game. But the
Georgia
game, the SEC championship game. So, to your point, you can go back and look at every championship team, the 98 team with Tennessee. Every championship team faces adversity and wins a game or two that maybe they shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's just part of a long season. Tennessee is going to have its blowouts. I'll go ahead and tell you right now, Tennessee is going to blow out Texas A&M next Saturday in College Station. That's a bad basketball team. And if they don't, I'll be concerned.
Yeah.
But they're going to have their fair share of blowouts. And honestly, another reason Tennessee isn't blowing people out like they were a couple games ago, Admiral Schofield has not been Admiral Schofield.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. 865-200-5503, B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Stay with us. Be right back.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End BBQ has a new slew of daily specials for the fall. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the smokehouse stew, barbecue cheddar meatloaf, or the smoked turkey and dressing, which includes sliced smoked turkey and cornbread dressing paired with sautéed Brussels sprouts, mashed potatoes, and a side of turkey gravy. While Dead End offers a different specialty meal each day, you can get their hillbilly chili every day. There is always something new at Dead End BBQ. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End BBQ. The fall flavor search is over. Join the Swain Event at Dead End BBQ on Wednesday, February 6th to celebrate the Vols' victories on the recruiting trail. Enjoy a special barbecue breakfast and listen to Jason Swain and the guys break down each signee during the special edition of the Swain Event live from Dead End BBQ. They will be giving away t-shirts and other awesome items. Former players will be on hand as well as great guests. What better way to celebrate the 2019 signing class than enjoying some delicious barbecue and hanging out with the Swain Event? Spend National Signing Day with the Swain Event and Dead End BBQ.
Do you want a custom themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Well, look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. Every design has you, the fan, in mind. Their tumblers and bottles are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the market. From stainless steel sippy cups to tumblers and sports bottles, Game Time Sidekicks offers something for the fan of all ages to rep their team with. They have many different logo options, so fans will have something they are proud to carry around all the time. Use promo code SWAIN at checkout to get 20% off of your entire purchase at GameTimeSidekicks.com. They also offer $5 flat rate shipping. Be sure to check out the Game Time Workshop on the website and customize your tumbler to make it one of a kind with things like your nickname, number, or initials. Game Time Sidekicks. Show your colors and carry your team.
Are you looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? If so, Then call me, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. I take a no-nonsense approach to the real estate transaction. No fluff, just facts. Having lived and worked in the Knoxville area for 19 years, I am very familiar with the local real estate landscape and am ready to help you get the most money for your property with the least amount of hassle in the shortest amount of time. No one likes for their home to sit on the market for months at a time. If a straightforward approach to your real estate needs is what you prefer, then give me a call. Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty at 865-694-5904 or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
You're listening to the Swain Event.
And you know this, man?
Eight 865-255-03, B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Swain Event fueled by Dead End BBQ, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Smoked turkey and dressing day today at Dead End BBQ. Sliced smoked turkey, cornbread dressing paired with sauteed Brussels sprouts, mashed potatoes, and turkey gravy. Dead End BBQ, smoked turkey and dressing today. Let's get to Jay on the B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Jay, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jay.
Good morning. How are you?
Great, great, great.
Me too. I was a little bit worried last night, but I was glad we came back and won.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Championship teams do that, man.
Yes, they do. I thought it was a good game. I was surprised it was so close.
Yeah, I think a lot of us were surprised when you look at Vanderbilt's season and you look at where Tennessee is right now, the matchups, Vanderbilt losing their best player, going to the NBA. I think it's easy to look at that game and just expect a blowout. But Vanderbilt played very well, and Tennessee struggled at times, but they bounced back because he had a leadership, and then you had an unbelievable performance. Grant Williams, probably one of the best performances, probably the best performance of the year so far in college basketball. And I don't know what's going to happen moving forward, but it probably could be the best that we see this regular season.
Well, Marquette's Marcus Howard, he's dropped 2 50-point games, and one of them was against a relatively big opponent. That's the only one that I can think of that would rival it off the top of my head.
I've never seen anybody hit that many free throws in a game before either without missing one.
He was money. He was money, Jay. Hey, Jay, thanks so much for the phone call.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, none of us have literally seen anybody shoot that well from the free throw line at Tennessee because it's never happened.
No.
Yeah,
No.
but I told you this before the show. Grant Williams, assuming he stays healthy and continues to get his 16, 18, 20 points a night, he locked up SEC Player of the Year last night.
Already, huh?
Already. I truly believe that. I mean, he was already the leading scorer going into the game in the SEC, and then he dropped 43 points and was 23 of 23 from the free throw line. And, an underrated part of his game last night was the 8 rebounds. The rebounds is something that Rick Barnes has really been on him about all season long, really Grant's entire career at Tennessee. And I know 8 isn't a big number, but it is when the other team is shooting 50% from the field. Because D. Rose, he brought up the fact that he didn't like that Tennessee got out-rebounded, and normally I wouldn't either. But, again, I truly believe that Vandy only had 3 more rebounds simply because Vandy was making shots. Tennessee didn't have any rebounds to go up and get. And then on the offensive end, Kyle Alexander didn't have his normal load of offensive rebounds either. Like you mentioned, Vanderbilt did a great job of blocking Tennessee out.
He did, man. He didn't crash those boards on the offensive glass, and some of those 50-50 balls where they're sitting there and they like they're playing volleyball. We didn't get those. Vanderbilt got those. And it wasn't like the ball was on the ground and they wanted it more, but just kind of how the ball bounced. We had Kyle Alexander jumping with 2 or 3 Vandy people in the paint trying to get the ball, and Vandy would come out with it. So it was that performance from Grant, 43 points on 15 shots. I think he was 10 for 15 from the field. He's so fundamentally sound that you kind of lose respect for his athleticism. And I think people are kind of going overboard, like, man, he's not athletic. Yes, he is. He's just not freakishly athletic.
He doesn't look athletic.
But he's athletic. Those quick spin moves, the way he's able to contort his body, absorb contact, and still finish around the rim, that takes athleticism. Being able to take one dribble from the top of the key, spin, float in the lane, that takes athleticism. That takes balance.
Getting up high enough to block John Petty's shot against Alabama, that takes athleticism.
Let's pump the brakes. He ain't Zion Williamson.
No.
He's not, Jordan Bowden. He's not Ease Pons, guys who are freakishly athletic at times. But don't get it twisted. Grant Williams is athletic. So I'm starting to see a little bit of that too much. Like, oh, well, he's not athletic. Man, huh? What? That boy's athletic.
Whenever you hear that, or Tennessee fans listening, if you hear somebody say Grant Williams is not athletic, show them 2 clips. Go back to last year's Arkansas game on the road. I believe it was in the first half, near halftime. Grant Williams absolutely hammered one on top of, I know, one Arkansas player, and I think a second Arkansas player was in the vicinity. Go show them that clip, and then show them the clip from the Alabama game where Grant got off the ground to block John Petty's shot. I mean, tremendous athleticism. Not only getting up there and showing his ability to really jump and his lower body strength and his explosiveness, but he covered a lot of ground too. Grant wasn't really close to John Petty when John Petty was squaring up for his shot, and he got there relatively quick and got up off the ground, and it was a great display of athleticism, showing acceleration, explosiveness. So for those who think that Grant Williams is not athletic, please go look at those 2 highlights and tell me that Grant Williams is not athletic. And you mentioned Zion. I need people to really listen to what I'm about to say. Zion Williams is
Williamson. Yeah, Zion.
Yeah, Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
Zion, that's what I'll refer to him as, is the best athlete in all of college basketball. He is the best pro prospect in all of college basketball, in my opinion.
Yes.
Grant Williams is the best college basketball player in the country. College basketball player is Grant Williams. Like, you're prototypical, when you think of the Jimmer Fredettes and guys like that had great college careers and then don't necessarily have the pro career that Zion will have, or R.J. Barrett. I truly believe that Grant Williams is the best college basketball player in the country right now.
I'm okay with that because all we're doing is comparing Grant's 3 years versus Zion's 2-3 months. If Zion and Grant Williams were to stay in college for the same amount of time, it wouldn't be close. It would be Zion. But I'm cool with what you're saying. Like Grant Williams is going to be a semifinalist for the Naismith Player of the Year. Like he may win the thing. He may win it. If Admiral continues to struggle, he's gonna have a stretch where he's gonna be counted on to put up big time numbers. So yeah, he may win National Player of the Year if he continues to play like he's been playing. And I'm not talking about just playing every game like he did against Vanderbilt, but because that was just on another level. But if he averages 18 points, 20 points per game, and he's doing what he's doing defensively, and like I don't think people saw his leadership come out yesterday. I mean, after they win the game, it's emotional. And he's pointing, guys, get to the locker room. Let's not do anything stupid that's going to cost us a game moving forward. Hostile environment.
He also said no more flashing of the jersey. He said, I told the guys no more flashing of the jersey, no more doing things like the Gator Chomp. That's our immaturity showing. And if we want to reach what we want to reach, we need to be a more mature basketball team.
Yeah, immature in the way of handling success.
Yes.
Because they old.
Yes, and
Grant, guys play a lot of basketball.
Grant was referring to focusing on the wrong things. They were too worried about showing up the Florida fans that were giving them mess, the Memphis fans that were jawing at them. They just want to focus on basketball and go win a title.
Quick point: this basketball team, they were counted out. Remember that 13th preseason ranking that fueled them. They getting that respect now. They can't let opposing fan bases put a big chip on their shoulder where they can't function, if that makes sense. Yes, have a chip on your shoulder, but if you allow that chip to be too big, it affects your game. And I think that's a part of what's happening with Admiral Schofield, where he gets himself amped up. I'm not talking about the Twitter likes because that's nothing. That's not a big deal. But he gets himself, I think, really amped up to prove people wrong. The trash talk is in that moment, and he gets himself going too much instead of letting the game come to him, and then he throws himself out of his own game.
Rick Barnes said it after the game last night. He puts too much pressure on himself.
I think that's what's going on.
I love Admiral and all of these likes on Twitters. I love us in the first segment yesterday going through and looking at Admiral's likes. I'd like to see Admiral get off Twitter.
It has nothing to do with that. Man.
I think he's getting too amped up. I think he's putting too much pressure on himself.
But Twitter has nothing to do with it. If he didn't have Twitter, he could still go on opposing courts, hear people boo him, hear fans trash talk to him, and still get amped up too much.
He could.
It ain't about it. It ain't Twitter.
But it's the not dealing with it 24/7, because Twitter is just another avenue for him to somewhat deal with it.
But you don't play the game in that moment when you're sitting in class and you like a tweet. Like it's admirable in those 30 to 60 minutes at an opposing arena, and those fans are jawing with him, and he's like, okay, all right, and he's bouncing up and down, he's getting himself going, and he gets himself going too much, and it affects his game. I don't think Twitter has anything to do with it. I saw some terrible takes on Twitter. Oh, you go Twitter liking comments. That has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it.
Hey.
It's when you play the game and how you let the game, how you let trash talking affect you.
The no social media policy worked for Clemson, so I wouldn't rule it out of the realms of possibility.
865-255-03 B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. Around the SEC is coming up next.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today. JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
Craving flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at your local grocery store. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gluten-free select varieties like the cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy small-town flavor in every bite. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event. Around the SEC, powered by 42nd Street Marketing, your game-winning play call for design, marketing, and branding.
Swain Event fueled by Dead End BBQ around the SEC is brought to you by 42nd Street Marketing and Design. They do everything in-house: branding, custom website design, logo design, print design. Go to their website at 42sd.com or call Mike at 865-382-7007. Fill out their website form, get your questions answered. 42nd Street, the only company I trust my branding with. All right, Ben, where are we going today?
Real quick before we talk about some football news within the SEC, there were 2 other games last night on the basketball court, and how about Georgia giving number 25 LSU a scare there for a little while? That was a very close game throughout. I believe you agreed with me yesterday when I said I thought LSU was the second best team in the SEC as of today. And LSU had a little scare there for a second, but LSU did pull out a 10-point victory, 92-82. And then elsewhere, Conzo Martin's Missouri Tigers fell to Arkansas 72-60. On the football field, South Carolina running back Tyson Williams officially announced his intentions to transfer. Yesterday, I also mentioned that Nick Starkel was transferring from Texas A&M as a graduate transfer, and the schools that he is considering is not any SEC schools. So Duke, Ohio State, SMU, and Arizona. And if I was Nick Starkel,
Ohio State, huh? Okay.
I'd go to Duke. Go work with David Cutcliffe. I don't think anything could be better for a quarterback than working with David Cutcliffe. And why would you consider Ohio State when Justin Fields just transferred there? And I thought this was really cool. T. Martin got a lot of attention for returning to Tennessee, and rightfully so. But how about Auburn? And Cadillac Williams, Carnell Cadillac Williams, is also returning home with a current opening on Gus Malzahn's coaching staff. He is turning to Cadillac Williams to coach the running backs, a running back group that struggled last year, struggled to have somebody that could lead them, guide them. And I'm interested to see how that plays out. I always love seeing former players that were big time superstars, so to speak, at their schools returning and coaching. I've always thought that was really cool. And then one last thing, Hugh Freeze went on the radio in Nashville, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, to discuss interest from Auburn and Tennessee before he took the Liberty job. During an interview with 3HL on Nashville's 104.5 The Zone on Tuesday, Freeze discussed the interest he received from Tennessee and Auburn, saying he and Gus Malzahn are close friends. And this was a quote that Hugh Freeze had. The interest that I received from some of those schools was incredible for me at this point in my life. I was prepared to take any of those should they all come through. I'd be lying if I was saying there wasn't one that I really, really have always kind of thought about and dreamed about and all those things. But for whatever reason, at this time, some things don't work out on other people's ends. So, and he also went on to say, I've always talked with Gus about working with him. He's been one of the most loyal friends through a difficult season in my life, and he just never wavered and just fought for me. I think he's a heck of a football coach, too. So it sounds like, based off those comments, Hugh Freeze maybe preferred Auburn over Tennessee. I mean, we'll never truly know, but based off those comments, it sounded like Hugh Freeze wanted to go work for the Auburn Tigers.
Hey, I understand. That's your boy, and you talk to him more. I get it. Cadillac, I can see him being retained on the Auburn staff if Auburn decides to go in a different direction. Remember, Gus Malzahn had to agree to a change in his contract and his buyout. There's an Auburn force that want Gus Malzahn out. And for Cadillac, it's not like he was coaching at Texas or anything before. So I think he came from the IMG Academy, where he was coaching, or another small college.
I believe it's IMG.
But Cadillac, I remember him as a player, and no one gave you more on the football field than Cadillac. He was unbelievable from the first snap that he took there at Auburn to the last. He was a great player, so it's good.
You played against that Auburn team, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
That was when they had Cadillac and Ronnie Brown and Jason Campbell.
Yep, 04.
When they went undefeated.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Played against that team. Played against them twice, actually, 03 and 04. And that team was special. Too bad they didn't get a chance to play for a national championship because they had a weak schedule. But that was a great team. All right, let's go to the phones this morning. Let's get to Steve in Georgia. Steve, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Swain.
Good morning.
Man, can't wait to the recruiting celebration down there. Got some Cajun candy coming your way.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I've already got 4 bottles staring at them right now.
Awesome,
hey,
man. Thank you.
Here's what I question, and I hear this so much. I mean, whenever you look at social media and you look at, you listen to radio shows and, hey, you know what? We done all this to get here. This is the way we've done it. And let's change everything because now we're number one. We got to change everything. Let's take them off social media. Let's do all this different stuff. I mean, I think you're kind of taking away some of their swagger if you do that. I mean, let them be them. I mean, why do we? If you start changing everything, and Swain, I coach, and I'm not on any level that you do, but if I were to go and just change everything that made, my team successful, I think that it would kind of affect them, and they'd be like, hold up, what? And I think it would affect their play. I just like to hear what you think about that. Maybe I'm wrong. But, hey, have a great day, Swain.
Thank you, Steve. I think you're spot on. We are creatures of habit. That's what we are. Now, you make adjustments, but changing everything that you do and who you are, I agree with you, Steve. You don't do that. This team is not uptight. Why? Because they put the work in. They've played a lot of basketball. They never panicked last night. So why should they get off social media? Why should they change anything that they've done? They shouldn't. Apple just needs to make a minor adjustment. Simple. Don't allow opposing fan bases, when you're warming up, to get you too emotionally off your game. You want to bring that emotion. You want to bring that passion. Admiral brings that edge. You want that. You need someone on your team who's your emotional leader. Admiral is that for this basketball team. He just can't let it go overboard. Draymond Green is that for the Warriors. He let it go overboard when LeBron and the Cavs beat them because he got himself suspended. There's always a line that you don't want to cross, but you want that edge. I don't want Admiral to change. He just can't let himself get so amped up to where he's shooting early in the shot clock because he's trying to shut the fan base up, or he's trying to beat the guy in front of him because they've been jawing back and forth. What if that was Admiral's second technical foul in that situation? And then he's gone. So he just has to make a minor adjustment. Let's not get overboard and try to swing the pendulum all the way to the opposite side just because we have brought more attention to his likes. He's always done that. That's not a new thing. He's always done that. He's always liked negativity so that way he can use it as motivation. Everyone's telling him he should be a football player. Everyone's telling him this. Everyone's telling him that. He ain't changed. We have changed. We are the one who talk about it more now than ever before. But he hasn't changed. He just has to make a minor adjustment. That's it. Hour 1, driven by Hiller, Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Follow them on Twitter at Happy Hiller. Swain Event, stay with us.
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
There is a 30% chance of showers today, cloudy with a high of 40 and a low of 24. Partly sunny tomorrow with a high near 33 and a low around 21. More sun on Saturday with a high in the low 40s. Weather on the Swain Event is brought to you by Be Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, Be Dry can help. BeDry.com. Do you have sloping or uneven floors, foundation cracks, or a leaning chimney? Do your windows and doors not open properly, or are there gaps where the floor and walls meet? Don't worry, B-Dry offers approved foundation repair solutions like steel I-beams, helical piering, epoxy injections, carbon fiber applications, and more. Make sure that your home is on stable ground with B-Dry. Call them at 865-588-0454 or find them online at BeDry.com.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
It's freezing in here, Mary. What's wrong with your heater?
The repairman can't get here till next week.
Sugar, you've got the wrong guy. My guy is fast and has free heating service calls when he does the repair.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Hiller. Take advantage of a free service call with any repair.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Gentlemen, when it comes to taking care of your health, sometimes the first step is the hardest. Low T Center is making it easier to take that first step. It all starts with knowing the numbers that are essential to a man. Testosterone levels, blood pressure, cholesterol, prostate, and thyroid. Low T Center makes it quick and easy to get all these levels checked and more. Low T Center specializes in men's health and has expanded their services, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, hypertension, severe allergies, high cholesterol, diabetes, and annual physicals, along with testosterone replacement therapy. The physicians at Low T Center not only want to help you feel good again, they want to help you prevent any serious health problems moving forward. Now, with the holistic approach to your overall health and wellness, Low T Center is making it more convenient for men to take care of their health, and most health insurance is accepted. They'll even verify for you. Take the first step for your health and call 865-392-1388. That's 865-392-1388, or go to lowtcenter.com. Reinventing men's healthcare.
Goes your car insurance.
Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Homes, remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy.
Swain Event fueled by Dead End BBQ in hour 1 is powered by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. True transparency pricing. What is that, folks? That is when you know the cost of your part plus a fair service repair fee for the part. So many times you get a service done that requires the purchase of a part. Well, you never really know how much that part is. That part can be $10. That part can be $20. You turn around and then your entire service is hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But you never really know the true cost of that part. Well, Hiller, they do not do that at all. They give you that information up front before you commit to any repairs. That is Happy Hiller on Twitter. I got a couple examples here of just comparable invoices. Hiller versus the other guys. Same service, same part. One example here is a company charging a family $638.90 for the same part, the same service. Hiller charged only $368. True transparency pricing. Know exactly what you're paying for up front. That is what Hiller is all about. All right, we got Attaboy here where we highlight positivity. I just got an easy one, man. How do you not give it to Grant Williams for putting his team on his shoulders and shooting the ball perfectly from the free throw line? 23 out of 23. It's hard to do that when there's no one in the gym. Because sometimes you can have the perfect form and the ball just hits the back of the rim or it rims out. There are shots where the ball hits every part of the rim and just pops out sometimes. And there's nothing you can do about it. Grant Williams barely hit the rim last night. His free throws barely hit the rim. He had more free throws not hit the rim than I've ever seen in a game.
I only remember one, and it was the first free throw after the flagrant foul against Vanderbilt was called.
His last two, I remember his last two hit the rim, and I was nervous because I thought it was gonna roll out.
Maybe that was the one I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean his last two hit the rim, but every one of the others just tickled the twine.
It's such a funny thing.
String music. He was beautiful.
I mean, I kept thinking, okay, surely he's going to miss this one. Surely he's going to miss. Surely he's going to miss. Remember the last time a Tennessee player went 23 of 23? Shout out to T. Martin in Columbia, South Carolina.
That's right, he did. He did. He was balling that day. I think David Martin had like 27 catches, all like 8-yard routes.
If T. Martin threw 23 completions, how'd he have 27 completions?
I know. Isn't that powerful? That's the magic of it all. 865-200-5503. Hour 2 coming up.
Touchdown or turnover is up next on the Swain Event.
We're here with Dr. Mike Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, or instability, Achilles tendonitis, golfers, or tennis elbow, do what I did and give them a call.
Yeah, Jason, we specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged ligaments, tendons, and joints, including things like rotator cuff injuries, knee instability, elbow problems, as well as foot problems like plantar fasciitis, Achilles, things of that nature, by injecting with stem cells and what's called PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. And this form of treatment we do under ultrasound, so we know we have our target. And it also stimulates the body's own reparative process, and this allows for the healing of damaged tissue. And as you well know, I mean, numerous professional and collegiate athletes, guys like Steph Curry, Tiger Woods, and even yourself with your ankle injury, have been using this form of treatment for years. And so we offer that same type of treatment here in East Tennessee.
Visit them on the web at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in regenerative therapy. When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union has helped people save money for almost 80 years. Whether it's free checking, financing a vehicle, or purchasing that new home, Alcoa 10 is here to help you. Better rates, better service. Check them out at atfcu.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Member NCUA.
Touchdown or Turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Touchdown or turnover, backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, place where you belong, better rates and better service. All right, Ben, is Jordan Bowden the best dunker on this Tennessee basketball team? Touchdown or turnover?
Touchdown. And
Give him 6. Touchdown.
yes, Jordan Bowden is the best dunker on this basketball team. Eve Pons and Jalen Johnson will give him a run for his money. And the best time to watch this is pregame in the layup line, or the dunk line, as I like to call it. Jalen Johnson, Eve Pons, Jordan Bowden, Adam Schofield, they all throw down some pretty ridiculous dunks in the pregame. And it's really fun to watch. And Bowden has at least done it in the game, to where Eve has come close twice against Gonzaga. He was blocked by Brandon Clark. And then, what game was it recently that he almost jammed on somebody? Was it the Alabama game where who blocked him at the rim recently? He got blocked at the rim recently by, or was it the Alabama game? One of the recent games. Arkansas. Daniel Gafford, I believe, met him at the rim, and Gafford got his money's worth. And so Eve is really close to throwing down the dunk of the year, in my opinion, and catching a body, putting a poor kid on a poster and forcing that kid to retire. But that dunk last night by Jordan Bowden was absolutely ridiculous. And he does that in pregame, to where he'll throw it off the backboard and, I mean, just cock it back and just, yeah.
Nasty.
Just nasty, absolutely nasty. So I go touchdown, but Eve Pons, Jalen Johnson, Admiral give him a run for his money.
I mean, you have dunks where, like, the ball is so close to the rim on the oop, all you have to do is just kind of grab it and guide it down. But Jordan kind of had it cocked, and then he just tomahawked that thing with so much force. Oh my gosh, it was so nasty.
He's still high up off the ground.
And it was on somebody. Woo! Why even jump? It was so nasty. I'm gonna go
Give him 6.
touchdown as well, but I will say Jordan on the fast break to end the game that Jordan Bone laid out perfectly for him. He should have tried to dunk that.
Did he not? I thought he did try to dunk it.
No,
he went for the layup.
He went for the layup and he got blocked. You gotta dunk that, man. You gotta try to hammer that thing home and force them to foul you and go to the free throw line and win the game right then. Should have dunked it right there. But, oh my goodness, that dunk, man. I put it right there next to Zion's 360 dunk off the fast break. I mean, who's doing that? Who's doing 360 dunk like that in the game like that?
Vince Carter.
I mean,
Vince Carter is who? And Vince Carter, in my opinion, is the greatest dunker of all time.
Yeah, me too. I agree with you.
I mean, it's just incredible. And you have to give credit to Jordan Bone for putting it to where Bowden could go get it in. Rick Barnes kind of laughed after the game when he was asked about it. He said that, both Jordans, they looked at each other before the play, and Rick Barnes knew what was about to happen, and he wasn't in a position to where he could get to Bone in time to tell him not to do it, and so they just did it anyways. And he said it with a smirk on his face. It was pretty funny because we know how Vanderbilt's court is set up, and even if it was in Thompson-Bowen, it probably still would have been hard for Barnes to tell Bone, hey, let's not do this. Let's run our play that we just drew up in the huddle.
Yeah.
But I mean, Bone was under the basket, and Barnes was over by where the players check in at Vanderbilt. So it was funny to listen to Rick Barnes kind of smirk about it.
It was an unreal play, man. It was an unreal play.
It was the dunk of the year in the SEC so far. I'm not going to put it past Zion. I put him right there behind Zion. But I'm telling you, Yves Pons, who has taken a couple of steps back over the last couple of games, he is going to catch a body at some point this season. It's just a matter of time.
When you mean catch a body, that means he's going to dunk on somebody?
He is going to drop the hammer on somebody's head, put him on a poster, send the kid into retirement. The poor kid will never play basketball again, whoever the victim is. And I pray it is a Kentucky player. I pray. Please, basketball, baby Jesus, please allow Yves Pons to dunk on the forehead of a Kentucky player. No, but real quick, on that, Bowden, see, I thought he was going for a dunk on that because I was, on the opposite side of that basket of which that play was on. And then B, I was sitting with God up in the clouds in Memorial Gymnasium. I mean, God was sitting right next to me. That's how high up I was.
Did he say, look what I created? Look at that.
Yes.
Look what I created.
Yes.
That young man, I spent some time on that one. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just molded him just perfectly to be able to just dunk on somebody. Ooh, that's my work right there. Is that what he said to you, Ben?
That is exactly what he said to me. And he especially said it on Bowden's big-time dunk. But on the one at the end of the game that was blocked that you mentioned, it looked from my vantage point like he did go up for a dunk, and then the Vandy player got there just in time. It was a nice play by the Vandy player. You have to give that kid a lot of credit.
Oh, yeah, it was, man. It was. It was a great play by him. Let's go to the B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline this morning, and let's get to Cam, who's calling from Florida. Cam, good morning.
Good morning. How's it going?
Great, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So I have an ongoing list that changes, and it's ranking which SEC fan bases I dislike the most. And Vanderbilt's fighting hard to get into the top three right now. And so last night when I'm watching the game, and I can't recall if it was the last minute of the fourth quarter or the last minute of overtime, when Grant Williams did the little spin move and got the and one and then went over and flexed towards the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I was watching it, I was getting irritated every time it showed the Vanderbilt student section. And after it was showing a replay of him doing that move, you could see this kid from, obviously a Vanderbilt fan, 10, 11, 12 years old in the stands. And until that point in my life, I had never got so much sheer satisfaction at the look of disappointment in a child's face. And so my question for you is, am I a bad person?
No, you are not a bad person. That kid has to learn. If you're gonna talk trash, then you gotta learn how to deal with the results. So no, you're fine, man. You're good. No one said anything to the kid. No one was mean to the kid. But if you're gonna go to the basketball games and yell and scream, then hey, you're gonna be disappointed if it doesn't work out. So I don't blame you one bit for loving every second of that child frowning and being disappointed.
All right,
good, man.
And another question. It seems like we've maybe been playing to the level of our competition. What do you think about West Virginia this weekend? They just upset Kansas.
Yeah, they did. And looked like poop a little bit against Baylor and got blown out by 21 points and made it look better. But that should be a message for this Tennessee basketball team. You're going to get everyone's best shot, period.
Yes.
You can't have a night off. And I don't think they're going to go through the regular season undefeated. I think they will lose. It's too hard to go undefeated. I mean, that Kentucky basketball team a couple of years ago that was undefeated and they lost to Wisconsin in the tournament. I mean, they had straight NBA players all over their roster, everywhere. That's hard to do. This Tennessee team does not have that. They're good. They're really good. But you're going to get everyone's best shot every single night.
The thing that concerns me about West Virginia is that although they are 9-10, they're 10th in the Big 12, they have taken a rather large step back from last season's team that was very good.
Really good.
I mean, at one point they lost 5 games in a row. They've lost 6 out of their last 7. And if you want to go further, it looks like they've lost, if I'm quick math is correctly, they've lost 3. I mean, they've won 3 out of their last 11 or 12 games. So they're not in its winning ways like it was over the last couple of years when it had guys like Javon Carter. But what worries me about West Virginia is that it is a Bob Huggins coached basketball team. And though they lack talent, I think that they're going to be ready to play no matter what. I mean, it was the same as Rick Barnes kind of.
No, he will be. I believe you are right, man. All right, let's go back to the phones this morning, 865-255-03, and let's get to Rev. Rev, good morning.
Good morning, guys. What's going on?
Everything's going on, man. Just talking about the number 1 team in the country.
Oh, yeah. It's our team, Swain. You know that?
That's right. Absolutely.
I think it was clear last night that Schofield's mind wasn't in the game. From the first shot he took, that crowd just started screaming air ball every time he was in the game, every time he got the ball. I think that really got in his head. Even there toward the end when he got back in the game, I forgot which player it was, went for a little layup there, got by Lamonte Turner, got beat, and the guy was already in the air. Then Admiral jumped way too late, fouled the guy after he already made it. That's just a bonehead play. You just don't do that. You just take your loss, get the ball in the court and go trade 2 for 2 instead of giving that 1-point play and, putting your team in a bad position. But I love Admiral. I'm sure he'll get it straight because we're going to need him down the stretch.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
Gonna have to fix himself, Swain.
Oh, yeah. He'll be fine, man. He's a senior.
Yeah.
He's a senior. He'll be fine. He'll make the adjustments. He has to be that emotional leader on that team. He has to be. And it's hard to do that because you got to focus. You got to be even keel at times. And you look at this team, the makeup of it, Jordan Bone can be it, but he's not. Lamonte can be it at times.
Can be what?
Emotional leader. Like Grant, he's shown that, he gets out of his game when he gets talking to the referees and he's emotional. But you have to have that emotional leader. And Admiral's that guy. And it's hard. It's hard to do. Like playing wide receiver, it's hard to talk trash and have this edge sometimes and still focus on the football and catching it in traffic and doing your assignments. It's hard. I mean, that's why most guys don't talk. That's why most guys just go out there and do their work because it's just more things to think about and more things to have to worry about. So this team is at its best when Admiral Schofield has that edge. He just has to know how to not let it affect his game where one air ball, one missed shot takes him completely out of his rhythm.
I also like what Mississippi Vol says on the text box that he would love to see Admiral attack the basket more. I agree with that. But I also understand why Admiral is also taking these perimeter shots. A, because he is more than capable of knocking them down, as Rick Barnes has said, with the amount of work that Admiral has put in over the years. But B, if Admiral is going to make it to the next level, he's going to have to prove that he can knock down these perimeter shots at a high clip. So it's a double-edged sword of trying to do what's best for your team while also proving your value for that next step of your basketball career.
Yep, it's kind of like what Tim Tebow was trying to do his last year, proving that he was a passer.
Yeah,
and it may affect the overall production of the offense, but it also may help the overall production. But that's why you have a team. That's why you have 5 other guys who scored in double figures, averages a double figure a game to pick up the slack. And Grant Williams did that for everyone last night. Sorry, Rev.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I just have an interesting stat, and I'll hang up and listen. I'm curious, because everybody loves to crunch numbers when it comes to basketball. How many in and outs does this Tennessee basketball team have compared to all the other teams in the country? I think that'd be an interesting stat because I tell you what, we have a lot. Anyways, I'll hang up and listen, guys. Great show.
Thank you. When you mean in and out,
like one that shots go halfway down and then find a way to rim out. Bunnies and 3-point shots. Rev, that's a great question. And I think you should spend the next week or so researching that, watching every single college basketball game, tallying how many times it has happened to Tennessee and how many times it has happened to the, I believe, 323 other college basketball teams. I think that'd be a great research project for Rev.
I think so, too. I think you should do it, Rev. 865-255.
How they continue to do it on Twitter?
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no clue.
No.
I didn't say anything yesterday. I was nice. And even when I was
Vandy fan agree with you, though.
That Vandy, because when I clicked on his profile, he had 1 follower, which probably was his real account. And then he was following 5 people. So he just made that account just to troll. And I get a kick out of it. I think it's hilarious that someone would go out their way to do that. Like you don't have anything going on in your life that you want to create?
Guys, it was a great win last night. And I have to, today I'm coming with the orange and white flag of peace and love and truce. You do a very good job on Twitter during the games of analyzing the game, of making it real. It's a good follow in game and even post game. Unlike some people who would rather watch hockey while the game's on and then try to tweet about it afterwards.
False storm.
Oh man, you should know how to spell it when you're making fun of
hockey. Jason Swain, to where you said, I'm coming in waving the orange and white flag, a truce, and I'm gonna be nice, but. And then you call somebody out. That is what is called a Jason Swain.
Nope. Because I was really nice. I said, with all due respect, sir. With all due respect, sir. And then I didn't insult him.
That's when you know you're in trouble when he says,
yep.
With all due respect, sir.
I didn't insult the man. You insulted Charlie.
Now Swain has a good point on that one.
I didn't say his name. I don't know why you keep bringing Charlie up in this. Charlie is a fine man.
Okay.
Well, then who are you talking about?
Yeah, who are you talking about?
Storm, put a name on it.
Who are you talking about?
No, I don't want.
Who are you talking about?
I'm here waving the orange and white flag of.
Who are you talking about?
I'm not here to call people out.
Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about? You talking about Seth Stokes? Who are you talking about? What are you talking about, man?
Did Stokes even tweet about the basketball game last night? Stokes
is like a ghost these days.
He is.
Stokes. All right. Stokes did retweet some basketball stuff from last night. So.
Yeah,
close enough.
He did. No, it was. I tell you what, it was a great game, but it was an alarming game from the standpoint of now we have 3 games in a row where Tennessee's defense has not shown up like it did in the beginning of the year, and their offensive rebounding is starting to scare me.
I don't think Tennessee's played a team like Vanderbilt all year, to be honest. Except maybe Gonzaga being able to shoot the ball from the outside. I mean,
but they've done this 3
shoot
games in a row now. Arkansas, Alabama, and now this.
I agree.
Same pattern.
I agree with you in totality, but I'm going to take the glass half full approach and say that with Arkansas, it was just them not coming out with the correct mindset because they were up by 20 at halftime. And then against Alabama and against Vanderbilt, the defense wasn't great for a large portion of the game. But when you needed your defense to step up most, it did, and it locked down John Petty for the last 9 minutes of the game, And then last night in overtime, Tennessee's defense stepped up. So I do think there's a little good aspect of it and a negative aspect of it.
I'll tell you what Rick Barnes is going to say. He's not happy.
No,
because he's thinking big picture.
Yes.
He's thinking national championship. Every day he's thinking national championship. He may not be talking about it with his team, but if this team is going to win a championship, their defense has to continue to get better. And this experience against Vanderbilt was a good experience because they did not see that set all year long. And Vanderbilt presented some problems for them. And they were able to overcome. They were able to make adjustments and make some key time, some big-time plays late defensively. Vanderbilt turned the ball over in the last 2 possessions with the lead. So they made plays when it mattered most.
Well, and another thing is when you play those teams that live and die by the 3, eventually they're going to get cold. And that's what happened to Vanderbilt, and that's why Tennessee was able to pull it out, because all of a sudden those 3 balls stopped dropping.
Man, it sure didn't feel like it sometimes.
And then you mentioned Gonzaga, Swain. The other one was Memphis. Memphis was able to kind of remain in the game or closer than maybe what it should have been because they shoot a lot of 3 balls and they got some to go. So Memphis has adapted to that NBA style of basketball with the flopping and the amount of 3-point attempts.
We can't call anyone else floppers. We can't do that anymore because of what Grant did.
Twitter
right?
told me that.
Yeah, Twitter said we can't identify flopping anymore because Grant sold his foul. You can't say anything because that one quote-unquote flop from Grant equals the 87 we saw Memphis try to use against Tennessee in that game. It's the same thing. 87 is the same as 1, if you didn't know that.
It's funny. I was listening to Memphis radio on Monday, and they were talking about a flop that Tyler Harris had over the weekend, and they said it was absolutely terrible to the point where Tyler Harris had just made a phenomenal shot in the corner, a really nice 3-point shot, and then on the other end he came down and he flopped and acted like he had just gotten shot, and the Memphis radio hosts were talking about how that had taken everything away from the spectacular shot that he had just made and that they could not stand the flopping. So nice to see some Memphis folks coming around to the hating of the flopping as well.
No, man, you can't mention anything about flopping. You can't do that. You can't do it at all. All right, Volstorm, thanks, man.
All right, boys. Peace and love, and we'll see you later.
All right. Go apologize to Charlie for throwing him under the bus on the show.
Poor Charlie doesn't even know that you just threw him under the bus.
Golly, just ripped Charlie. Just ripped him.
It's like you just subtweeted. You just sub-mentioned.
He did, man. He did do it. Can't deny it. Swain Event, stay with us.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End BBQ has a new slew of daily specials for the fall. Enjoy a different special meal every day, like the smokehouse stew, barbecue cheddar meatloaf, or the smoked turkey and dressing, which includes sliced smoked turkey and cornbread dressing paired with sauteed Brussels sprouts, mashed potatoes, and a side of turkey gravy. While Dead End offers a different specialty meal each day, you can get their hillbilly chili every day. There is always something new at Dead End BBQ. Located off of Sutherland Avenue, Dead End BBQ. The fall flavor search is over.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today. We're here with Dr. Mike Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, or instability, Achilles tendonitis, golfers, or tennis elbow, do what I did and give them a call.
Yeah, Jason, we specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged ligaments, tendons, and joints, including things like rotator cuff injuries, knee instability, elbow problems, as well as foot problems like plantar fasciitis, Achilles, things of that nature, by injecting with stem cells and what's called PRP, or platelet-rich plasma. And this form of treatment we do under ultrasound, so we know we have our target. And it also stimulates the body's own reparative process, and this allows for the healing of damaged tissue. And as you well know, numerous professional and collegiate athletes, guys like Steph Curry, Tiger Woods, and even yourself with your ankle injury, have been using this form of treatment for years. And so we offer that same type of treatment here in East Tennessee.
Visit them on the web at trsportsmedicine.com. Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, East Tennessee's leader in regenerative therapy.